Oh god, wait, did I have an intro for this? Wait, let me check.
Did you have an intro for this?
Wait, I might have made a note of the intro. Let me look.
Hello, Bandit. I can't even kick her out because I'm in the one room that she can currently be in.
Oh, poor Bandit. Hey, is your wall fixed?
I know. No, it's still not fixed. I still have a hole from my attic to the top of the hallway stairs and behind the shower.
Wait a second, talking about holes in the ceiling and walls, segue, you know what? Holes in the head.
I just remembered what this episode's gonna be about.
That's right. We're talking about lobotomies and trepanning.
Yay!
I put off my research quite a lot extensively for the past 3 months of me saying I was going to do this, I think. And I did all my research, which is to say I opened 12 to 14 business articles and then just copied and pasted loads of information without reading it and called it a day.
Right. Okay, so you haven't read the information that you skim-readed.
I skim-readed, you know. I skim-readed.
Skim-readed.
But I'm pretty sure this is going to be a two-parter. Because I did research into trepanning and lobotomies, because they're kind of not the same thing, but I would say linked.
But they're on the same vibe kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, one's a hole in the head, the other's a hole in the head and a little brain stir. So, warning for this episode, I suppose, because medical history, trepanning, lobotomies, treatment of people with mental health issues, or literally anything, really. A
lot of heavy stuff. Yeah, a lot of really heavy stuff is going to come up because I know bits. I know quite bits, but please inform.
Medical history is gruesome, it's fun.
It is, and interesting. And I have a cat that's going to listen with us, apparently.
You have a bandit who is probably going to cause some ruckus.
She will probably cause ruckus at some point. So far, she's been very nice and calm. Let's go.
Through reading various articles and trying to summarize. So trepanning, right? Throughout history, people have been willing to try just about anything to cure their illnesses, even if it meant undergoing dangerous and painful medical procedures, from ancient brain surgery to use of leeches to remove blood. That's irrelevant to this bit. Claire didn't read it. Trepanation, a surgical procedure that involves drilling a hole into the skull. It was a common medical practice in many ancient cultures. The procedure was used to treat a variety of medical conditions, including headaches, epilepsy, and mental illness, and it is believed to have been performed for thousands of years.
Imagine if it was still happening now.
Well, it didn't phase... I can't remember. We'll find out later on because I'm pretty sure it does say.
We'll find out later.
Or that could have been my research into guillotines.
There's a pretty big difference.
Not sure. I went down a dive of lobotomies and fact-checking medieval torture devices.
Right, okay. Never mind.
So the procedure involved drilling a hole into the skull using a sharp object, such as a flint or obsidian knife. Obsidian knife, the sharpest of all knives. The hole was then enlarged using a scraping tool, and the underlying brain tissue was exposed. The procedure was often performed without anesthesia or antiseptics. And weirdly, it was associated with a high risk of infection, brain damage, and death.
Really?
Crazy that. Crazy how no anesthesia or antibiotics would do that.
Like, no antiseptic in any way? Oh.
Yeah. You know, antiseptic, that thing that really just does nothing.
No, really, just pointless that. Anyway.
So, despite the dangers associated with trepanation, the procedure persisted for thousands of years and was even used by some ancient cultures as a form of ritualistic practice. While trepanation is no longer a common medical procedure, shock, it remains an important part of the history of medicine and serves as a reminder of the risk associated with early medical procedures. In ancient times, holes were drilled in a person's head who was behaving in what was considered an abnormal way to let out what people believed were evil spirits. The demons.
The demons. So it's all going back round in a circle to the demons, right? Okay.
Evidence of trepanation has been found in prehistoric human remains from Neolithic times onwards. So crazy old.
Why were they doing it in Neolithic times?
Well, no one's around to ask, so we can only really assume. But the bone that was trepanned, as is the term, was kept by the prehistoric people and may have been worn as a charm to keep evil spirits away. So you take a bit of trepanned skull,
Oh, wait.
make a little necklace.
I saw this on Horrible Histories. They liked to
Oh.
take heads and like use them as decoration, like preserve heads after people had died, and that was seen as like they used to do really weird things to try and preserve the heads and like decorate them as like keepsakes of people. Sorry. Yeah, Horrible Histories.
Love a good bit of horrible history here. Evidence also suggests that trepanation was a primitive emergency surgery after head wounds. So I suppose to try and like get the bleeding out, get the swelling out.
Hang on, so you get a head wound, you're bleeding everywhere, and then they're like, oh, we know what will fix this. A bigger hole.
Well, you do still make holes in people's heads as a surgery. It's just not technically trepanning. It's more scientifically done.
Okay, right, okay, that's good to know.
Trepanation appears to be the most common in areas where weapons that could produce skull fractures were used. So it's kind of pretty closely linked. And then the primary theories for the practice of trepanation in ancient times include spiritual purposes, epilepsy, head wound, mental disorders, headache, but the headache may just be a myth.
So we don't know if they definitely used it for headaches then?
We don't know about headache, but again, it does go inside with what we have found out about medical history, in which something's a problem, poke that area, problem should be fixed, ?
See if it should be fixed. Put smoke in it.
Smoke enema.
Smoke enema fixes everything.
Trepanation dates back to 7,000 or 10,000 years ago, and it is perhaps the oldest surgical procedure for which there is archaeological evidence, and in some areas may have been quite widespread. The main pieces of evidence are forms of cave paintings and human remains. At one burial site in France dated 6,500 BC, 40 out of 120 prehistoric skulls found to have trepanation holes.
That's a lot.
I know, right? And at that time, only around 40% of people survived the procedure, which is, weirdly, quite high percentage.
Yeah, this was BC. How? Remind me.
Yeah, 6,500 BC.
And 40% still survived the procedure.
Yeah, that's crazy
Wow.
high.
I just assume it would be like...
I assumed it'd be like 2% survived,
Yeah.
you know? And they survived for 10 minutes.
Yeah, like literally they survived to turn around and go, I made it! And then they just...
Yeah. Like, it hurts a bit.
I'm alive! There's a hole in my head, but I did... Like...
I die now.
I die now. Let me tell you where the treasure...
My one secret.
My one secret. Sorry.
More than 1,500 trepan skulls from the Neolithic period, representing about 5 to 10% of all cranial remains from that era, have been uncovered throughout the world, from Europe, Siberia, China, and the Americas.
The Americas.
I love when something references the Americas. I find it fun. Most of the trefined crania belong to adult males, but women and children were also represented.
Yay!
There you go. No one's really free from a quick trepanning.
No one's free from a trepanning.
This is great. There is also evidence of trepanation being performed on a cow in France around 3,400 BC.
Wait, what? Why?
I don't know. So it was performed while the cow was alive. The cow did not survive the procedure. It's unclear as to why it was performed, but they think maybe a veterinary procedure or a medical experiment for unknown reasons.
The cow.
It's the earliest example of veterinary surgery or animal experimentation.
Okay.
Medical animal experimentation.
Yay, I guess. Boo.
It's wild that someone looked at a cow.
And they were like, oh, I wonder if we can...
Oh, it was also done for infantile convulsions and various cerebral diseases believed to be caused by confined demons to whom the whole gave a remedy method of escape.
They're pretty wild.
Yeah, we know they survived because you can see the bone healing of the skull after the fact.
That is pretty cool.
In ancient Greece and Rome, many medical instruments were designed to penetrate the skull. The Roman surgeon developed...
Just the skull, eh?
Well, we know what the Romans and Greeks were up to. We know. So they developed a cranium instrument by rolling an instrument between the surgeon's hands. So kind of like when you're bored in class and you're rolling a pen between your hands. And that was used to drill a hole in the head, and that's pretty cool.
Oh, that's fun. You just like...
Yeah.
Like you're trying to start a fire with a stick, but instead you're drilling into someone's head.
Yeah, it was the forerunner of the manual burr hole and electric drill neurosurgeons use today. Oh, okay, so this is great. There's a picture involved in this, but obviously I can't show it because it's a podcast format. But I'll explain it to you, right?
Okay, you can describe it to me.
I'm going to describe to you, and then I'll show you the picture afterwards.
Okay.
So, during the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, trepanation was performed not only for skull fractures, but also madness and epilepsy. There are telltale works of art from this period that bridge the gap between descriptive art and fanciful surgery. For example, we find a famous oil painting by Hieronymus Bosch that depicts the extraction of the Stone of Madness. It's called the Extraction of the Stone of Madness, which I think is an amazing title.
That's beautiful. You see, I know Bosch, but...
And what's basically happening, right, to describe it? There's this one person leaning on a table. She's got a book on her head. Don't know what that's about.
Okay.
The guy doing the trepanation has what can only be described as a metal funnel. Like, it looks like it's funneling. There looks to be a priest with a jar of, like, a metal jug. I'm assuming holy water to spray on the demons. And then this guy just kind of lounging with his head back. It's beautiful.
Oh my god, yes, I know this. Okay, yes, I do know that bit.
I love that. The Extraction of the Stone of Madness. Sounds like a great title.
It sounds like a Harry Potter book.
That'd be a wild turn to Harry Potter.
Get inside your skull.
During the Middle Ages and into the 16th century, trepanning had continued to be used frequently. Prince Philip of Orange had the operation 17 times, whilst one poor soul had some 52 holes drilled in the head within a 2-month period.
How? How can someone live with that many holes in their head?
So with zero anesthesia, this made for a particularly painful procedure.
Yeah, you think?
Even though the survival rate was weirdly high.
But what? There's got to be a point where they've had so many holes in their head in the first month that in the second month they go, I don't think this is working. Maybe we shouldn't put in 52 holes. That's more than Caesar was stabbed.
Well, here's the thing, right? You know when a computer is frozen?
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm going to click. And then you give it a second, you're like, I'm going to click one more time. So maybe they did like 50 holes and they were like, okay, just 2 more. Maybe that'll fix it.
Let's just add 2 more. Like, you know, like the first... How many... Was it 33 times Caesar was stabbed?
Wasn't it like 32 to 37 times? It was weirdly inaccurate.
Something like that. But, like, after the first 30 stabs, the next 7 aren't really going to make that much of a difference. But the first 50 holes didn't quite do it in the brain, so the last 2 holes.
The thing is, like, 52, you're going to run out of skull. I believe that's why they stopped.
That's what I'm saying. How big are these holes? Are they tiny holes?
Well, it doesn't say.
The little drills? The big... You see, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's not that much skull. Unless this person had a head that was huge. And I mean huge.
Or it was like 3 holes that just kept being re-drilled.
That's weirdly worse.
Yeah, that is weirdly worse, yeah.
Because it's like healing and it's like, oh, nice new fresh bone. And then it's like, no!
Oh, no.
Turn you into another hole.
Ugh, that's not nice.
Right, anyway, sorry. I'm railing, I'm derailing. Go.
So even up to the modern day, trepanning has its strong adherents. For instance, a Dutchman named Bart Hughes was so convinced by its usefulness that he performed the operation on himself using a local anaesthetic, a scalpel, and an electric drill in 1965.
That wasn't even that long ago.
No. 65.
So he just performed the operation on himself?
Yeah.
Did he survive?
It doesn't say if he died or not. People are still wearing coats from 1965.
Right. That's vintage fashion now. It's antique.
You can see a car from 1965.
I need to know if this guy's still alive. He can't be.
You know what I will say about surgeons from like way back when? They were quite happy to just do these wild surgeries on themselves. Like, I got it, don't you worry. Get me a mirror.
Right. Just give me a drill, get me a mirror.
So that is the end of trepanning. The rest is lobotomy, it looks like.
Okay.
So end of part 1. On to part 2. Because I don't think I can fit this all in one part. Part 2, you're back. Oh wait, should we do a sign out for the other one? I've been Luke. That's been Shannon. That's been part
Shannon.
1. Check out this clip for part 2.
Lobotomies.
Bye.
All the links. Bye.
Fun facts. Came from trepanning, developed to eyeball. I mean, you're already quite close, aren't you? Saves you drilling a hole.
Round, like shifting things around.
Getting all up in its business.
Yeah, getting all up in my grill, do you know what I mean? I don't need it, like, scooping my eyeball about.
Get a hobby, man. Stop creeping.
Get a hobby. Stop being weird.
Pretty much like your butter and toast.
Like butter and toast?
It would, well, not with actual butter. It would have to be like a Nuttily Butterly or a Flora Spreadable, because otherwise I ain't going anywhere.